Hi, welcome back to Technology Behind Business. Great to have you with us. Well, Australia has one of the highest smartphone penetration rates in the world, meaning we are perfectly positioned to take advantage of the next big trend set to transform both the consumer and the business worlds, known as NFC, or Near Field Communications. This technology has the potential to change the way that we make payments, market products, and even catch public transport. Well, to talk us through exactly what this means for business, we have on our expert panel today Frank Dorian. He's from SGS Technology Director, Michelle Gamble from Marketing Angels, and Ben Pfisterer from Visa Australia. Welcome all to the program. Thanks for coming. Frank, let's begin with you. For those of us a little bit late to the party, just in layman's terms, explain to us what NFC is and how it's used.
Okay. NFC is basically two pieces of equipment that can talk to each other without touching. They can talk in very close proximity. NFC means near field, and that means very close together. If you look at a traditional card, which is say like one of your Visa cards there, the way it works is the card has an antenna around it, and that antenna links to the chip, and the energy comes from the radio wave from the reader, gives enough power here for that to read the chip and send information back to the reader. And that's in simple terms, it's transferring data without touching. And that technology is the same technology that goes in your phone.
So you can have either a card or you can have this technology in your phone. And Ben, the main use of this technology is for payments. Are we talking just purchases at your local store, or what does this encompass?
Yeah, it can be anywhere. I mean, we've already seen the deployment of PayWave readers throughout Australia, a really strong market and seeing some great growth there. So probably most of Australia's main retail brands, so your Caltex, Bunnings, McDonald's, 7-Elevens have already deployed this technology. So anywhere where PayWave is accepted with your card today, you'll also be able to do mobile payments in the future.
Now, Frank, you are working closely with Parramatta City. It has received funding to get this ParaConnect smart city idea up and running. So how is Parramatta using this technology? How far along the road is the council? Okay,
but Parramatta it's a very visionary council and forward thinking. And they had come to the market and said technology changing very quickly, so we're going to bring in different technologies to try out for the benefit of the city. And with the city today, it has to provide more than the basic. It has to provide the digital infrastructure. So what Parramatta did with the digital concierge was became part of a consortium. That consortium is with the town council, key players in the market, and then put together a strategy using where near-field communication is the core technology behind it. But it's not so much the technology, it's the benefits you get from the technology. So there's benefits for both the residents, there's benefits for the businesses, and there's benefits for the councils. So the benefits for the residents are that they will have one phone, and that one card or that one phone will allow them to do a multitude of transactions. So that card will allow them to do electronic process like the Visa PayWave. It will also be your library card. It will be your loyalty card. Today you have many loyalty cards in your pocket. They will all be in this one card. It'll be able to do your car parking, and then it's taking you into car parking both on street and off street. So you have functionality like if once you park your car, you will use your car to enter and leave. You'll be able to find your car using the card. You no longer lose your car in the car park. You move into meterless car parking on the street because it allows you to use GPS. So there's a lot of different functionality.
So this is the future. The future is here. Michelle, how do local businesses, though, really benefit? Is it that they'll have more people inclined to actually physically go to the store? Does it open up an online market to them?
It does both. I mean, it will differentiate local businesses, obviously, from their competitors by offering people more convenience. So, I know myself already that I will often go to a service station that uses PayWave rather than one that doesn't because it's quicker for me. So, obviously, that gives it some point of differentiation. It also allows local business owners to offer things like loyalty programs that are really easy for people in store to engage with. So, they can be standing at a counter waiting and then easily scan their phone to join a loyalty program, to download perhaps vouchers, things like that. You could also do local area marketing, have posters with the NFC chip in it, which again would drive people into stores. And I do know that some outdoor advertisers are already rolling out technology that will allow people to scan an outdoor poster and then go and redeem some sort of offer in store, or be able to view a video about the product or the brand online.
So, and you know, from Visa's perspective, we've heard PayWave mentioned a number of times. Why is this better?
It's better on a variety of levels. I mean, for consumers, it's a faster, more convenient experience. For merchants, they get better throughput in their stores. And for banks, they get better utilisation of the products and in general, enable their customers to have a better transaction experience. So it's across the board. When you then move on to mobile phones, you start bringing around and closing that circle. So you're not only promoting directly to consumers, you're also allowing consumers to make a seamless and fast transaction at the point of sale as well.
So, Ben, how safe is this? I mean, do you have sort of an upper level limit of what you're willing to spend through this technology? How do you keep track of what you're spending, etc.?
The beauty of it is you're now able to keep track of all your transactions, obviously via your records and your statements. The security we're seeing on this is unparalleled in any payment instrument around the world. So we're getting what's known as EMV technology, which is chip technology, that enables the phone to be significantly more secure than any other device. And then moving on from that, consumers actually will have the ability to actually set their level as well. So, via the user interface or the application that they use, they could also set minimum levels, maximum levels. They might want to do a PIN entry before they load up the application. So it's giving a little bit back to consumers if they're a little bit more security conscious, but it's also implementing via probably the best and leading technology we have available at the moment.
And what is this costing businesses to have this technology available to their consumers?
Nothing. That's the beauty of it, apart from acceptance costs. So acquiring banks, so those banks that help deploy the technology, and merchants are working very closely with them. They see it as the next step in payments, so they're deploying this technology. We're already seeing it widely used. So hopefully merchants can see the direct benefit through throughput and customer convenience without the additional cost.
Frank, are there any other sort of cities around the world that Parramatta or that wherever we are in the country can sort of look to how this has been implemented and working really well?
There are cities that are the leading edge with NFC is transportation. You'll find as you go around the world that you can actually use different cards for your transportation. It's all just touch and go type of thing. You'll find that we're now moving into the payment side with Visa, etc. But nobody's actually bringing it together. You've got touch and go when it comes to transportation. You've got touch and confirm when it comes to payments. What Parramatta is doing is touch and connect, and it's bringing together an ecosystem with all of the technologies brought together. So it brings in, NFC is really an identification technology. And from that, you can take it into many, many areas. So they are the first one to bring this ecosystem together.
So, Michelle, how is NFC, from a marketing perspective, different than everything else that's come before? What sort of doors does it open for, from your perspective?
Well, I think what it does, I think that the killer with NFC is that it's built into the mobile phone. So with a lot of other mobile marketing technology at the moment, you need to download an app to be able to use it. So QR codes are things that have sort of been rolled out and have been used in lots of other countries around the world, but it's still relies on someone to download the QR reader onto their phone and then, read a barcode, and it's not necessarily linked to payment either. So it's the idea that the technology is actually built into something that you're using all of the time, and that's going to make it much easier for consumers to adopt it and to use it across the board.
Frank, not all phones have NFC capabilities, so when will we start to see manufacturers including this as sort of standard in smartphones?
The NFC is available in most of the phones today, apart from the iPhone. And iPhone have some patents pending there. So what's going to be happening is that all phones are going to be becoming NFC enabled, but there's now add-on devices for existing phones. So you can go out there and you can buy a casing for an iPhone, just like one of the the Commonwealth Bank with its Kaching scenario. And you can, company we're working with called Watch Data, and they provide devices for a few dollars that you put into the back of the phone, so any phone can be NFC enabled. So you're not restricted anymore with it.
And so what sort of needs to change, or what needs to happen, do you think, Ben, for NFC payments to really become mainstream?
I'm glad to say the change has already started. It's been sort of going for a few years now. One of the key things is having the acceptance infrastructure. So that's already started, as I mentioned before, with some leading brands. But now it's a lot of collaboration that has to happen between handset manufacturers, telcos, banks and Visa to really bring the ecosystem together. There are still a number of steps that need to go through, but those things are starting to happen. So the key thing we'll see, as Frank touched on before, is handsets now hitting the market. You're already seeing with them the ones coming out, BlackBerry devices, also Samsung devices, and a number of other manufacturers doing that. So once that's out, it's up to the banks and the schemes like Visa to get together and work out how the technology gets deployed into the market. But it's certainly an imminent technology that we'll be seeing this year.
Yeah, and there's been no pushback from consumers. Everybody seems quite happy to adopt this.
It's probably one of the most exciting developments we've seen. We've done a number of pilots both in Australia and globally, and collectively all those findings are showing very strong results. The consumers love the technology and can't wait to have it on their phone.
All right, Ben Pfisterer from Visa Australia, Michelle Gamble from Marketing Angels, and Frank Dorian from SGS Technology. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
That's all we have time for in this week's edition of Technology Behind Business. Thank you for being with us. You can watch the show again on our website at skynews.com.au. I'm Nadine Blaney. Thanks so much for watching.